just bought this Dyson V15 Detect Absolute for 80 quid. So let's see what Dyson's previous flagship model of vacuum is really like. Now, I actually got this in a job lot of 5. If any of you really observant people, if you've been on eBay recently, you would have seen these for sale. There were 5 of them. And who was the really stupid person to buy them? Well, obviously me. Because, listen, the guy said they all worked. False advertisement, they may have worked. I charged them all up, 2 of them worked. So I thought, right, let's test the battery. Batteries tested, 2 of them worked. The other 3 had completely discharged. So therefore they were utterly flipping useless. But we've got 2 of them. The other one is currently being washed, but this one is fine. I was going to make a video on the whole job lot of these V15 Detects, but I really can't be arsed doing that, so we're going to just do one of them for now. Now, if you're a really observant person, you would have noticed that this actually has a V10 floor head on it. Well, this is because it didn't really come with any V15 floor heads, because obviously they got the anti-tangle comb and all that sort of stuff. It had a previous generation high torque head, I believe, the one that was on the V11 Absolute and the V11 torque drive. Yeah, so under all this plastic we have a 50-watt Dyson motor, yeah, and a V10 style underside. As you can see, it is complete 2018 V10 style. The wand is actually a genuine one off of V15 Detect Absolute, so it is actually correct for the machine. Right, and here we have the main unit itself. A truly high-end flagship model for Dyson. Taking a closer look at the machine, you can see that there's paint chipped off, the gaskets all hanging out there, as they do, because they don't seem to be trimmed properly when they come back from the factory. When they come out of the factory, this one's not too bad, but the other 4, they're awful. The bin, clear bin, obviously got very cloudy after the first use. I don't really understand how Dyson haven't found plastic that doesn't go cloudy as soon as you switch the machine on and start using it, but yeah, still got cloudy bin. I believe these came out 2021. You can still buy them today, they are cheaper. And I don't think they include as many tools as they used to. Comment if you know. If any of you people want to let me know about that, that would be much appreciated. Anyway, there's quite a few scuffs and marks all over it. It's obviously quite a well-used one. Obviously, scrapes and bashes and battle scars all over that filter. The actual battery pack's quite scuffed on the bottom, and obviously this was the era with the removable battery. I believe all the V15s had removable batteries, and yeah, there is actually a tiny bit of damage on the battery pack, but that should glue up nicely, and it's non-structural, and it's not actually structurally internally part of the battery, it's just the outside cover, so we should be alright with that. It's got the very useful screen that tells you all the information that you need to know. All that particle counting technology nonsense that nobody pays attention to. Quite frankly, I think that's a load of nonsense because, well, when I'm vacuuming, I don't look at the screen. You wouldn't hold your phone and hoover, would you? What you would do is you'd be looking at where you're going, not at some stupid little screen. When I'm vacuuming, I look at where I'm going, not at a screen. So, I mean, who the hell in their right mind would actually look at that when they're hoovering? I mean, come on. You just wouldn't, would you? Now, The floor head does make quite a lot of noise. Obviously, if you had a V10, you wouldn't be able to hear it because the V10 is substantially louder. The V10 is substantially louder than this one. They've got different motors. And under all of the plastic, and under all of this plastic, we have the Dyson V15 motor, which was made in Singapore. As they do with their motors, they make them in Singapore, test them, bring them to Malaysia, and then they put together the rest of the plastic, get it ready to be sold, and they get distributed worldwide. Obviously not made in the UK anymore. Those days are gone. Look at that, £600 and the whole thing wobbles. Look, I'm not doing anything bar wobbling it, and look, feels like it's gonna break in my hand. 700 quid these were brand new, and this one's maybe not even 5 years old. We don't actually know. I don't know if you can tell by the serial numbers, but I don't think you can. Anyway, yeah, is what it is though. The wand is actually quite dented, as you can see. Well, it's got a couple of dents, a couple of scrapes and battle scars, and that's about it. However, they did away with the sticker on these ones. They just printed it directly on the wand, like Pneumatic do with their like Pneumatic did with their face kits in 2010. Now, obviously, this was, and I say was, Dyson's flagship model until they came out with a better one, of course, the V16 piston. These are still considered to be absolutely fantastic. We do actually have one at the other house. I never made a video on it because I really could not be arsed. Cheaper than this one, and this one literally came like this for 80 quid. Hopefully still make some juicy profit on it. The one at home was 45 quid off Facebook, and it fully worked as well, so obviously a better deal happened there, but oh well. That one at home is not to be sold anyway. That's staying at home. Yeah, so do I consider these to be fantastic? I mean, no. I think these have their downsides. I mean, like everything, but these substantially suffer from issues, and I mean, sometimes they don't turn on. The capacitors inside of the motor, I believe they stop working. So you power the machine on like this, and then it'll just sort of stop. Well, and then just cut out like that intermittently. The little screen at the back, they suffer. If you get a little bit angry and you want to let some anger out and you end up punching the screen at the back here, that would stop it from working. And then you'd be in a bit of trouble, because without the screen working, you can't see how long you've got, and you definitely won't be able to see all the particles you're picking up off the floor, because we all know everybody loves looking at that. As I mentioned earlier, you definitely don't look where you're vacuuming with one of these. You wouldn't do that at all. Well, with any new Dyson product actually, because I believe they all have this screen at the back. Well, not all of them, some of them. But yeah, I believe they've released new ones now actually. So this is probably going to become obsolete in the next year or two. I mean, I don't care, I'll be selling it, it'll be gone. It will have a charger, it will have small accessories, it will have possibly a soft head, might even have a small motorised head, who knows. I'll include a spare filter, and yeah, jobs are good in. Now, the type of person that's going to obviously buy a V15 Detect, it's not going to really be a family, because, well, it might be a family, but usually it would be some sort of tech enthusiast from 2021, obviously, because that's when these came out. And they'll buy one, and they'll use it, and they'll look after it, and they'll treat it with a lot of care and respect. That is until the next one comes out, and then they see that and think, oh, that one's better. It's just like when people buy new iPhones. You know, you have iPhone 11, oh wait, iPhone 12 come out now, I've got to change it. those are the same type of people, you know? The people who like upgrading things when new ones come out all the time. Some people, well, lots of people love that. Other people buy a V8 from 2016 when they came out, I think, and they've still got it today, and it still does the trick perfectly fine. Quite frankly, if I don't see the difference really between this and the V11. Obviously, the V11 did not have the piezo sensing technology on the inside of its cyclones as this one does, as they all do. But it really is just such a pointless gimmick for these. Obviously it helped them to sell quite a bit. Obviously with the absolute version you would get the soft roller head with the laser, and I've got to admit that was pretty cool. But then again, you come to the realization that they get clogged up really easily. They don't pick up as well as this, as well as that floor head would, or just the high torque head in general. But then again, it still helped these things to sell, and my god, did they sell well. I know numerous people that have these, including ourselves, as I said earlier, but also family members and a few people in the parish, in the village. Now you're going to ask me the question, how much do I want for the bloody thing? Well, once it's all cleaned up and it has some new attachments, and I mean, it won't be this model that you're getting, you'll be getting a newer model, well, slightly newer, much better condition and with a better battery. I'm going to ask you 300 quid cash, take it away, and if it goes wrong within a year, I'll sort it out for you. If you message me 5 years after it's broken, I'm not interested. It's your problem, it's your responsibility. And that is that. So, keep a lookout on Facebook for the V15 Detect Absolute. When these things are fully charged, you get about 85 minutes, obviously. This one's only got 48 at the minute, but when it's fully charged, it'll have enough battery to do your whole house, depending on how big your house is, obviously, but for most houses, 85 minutes is enough, obviously. Now, obviously, this is only on eco mode. If you have it on medium mode, you're not going to get that long. And if you have it on boost, forget it, you've only got about 5 minutes. So this machine is actually great if you hate watching the football. You get about 80 minutes of runtime, and let's face it, you're not going to be holding the trigger down for 80 minutes, are you? No. So therefore, if you don't like watching the football, go and hoover your house. Now this brings me on to the question, did Dyson really improve the V15 over the previous V11? The short answer, no, they didn't really, did they? The V11 is simpler, it's got the same battery, the bin capacity is exactly the same. The only major difference is the slight floor head upgrade, a few extra tools I guess, and well, obviously the piezo sensor. The V11 is much simpler, it's less complex, and it shares some of its parts with the V10, so you could argue that it's easier to fix. So in comparison, I do think the V11 could be the better option here. But if you do want to pay a premium price, and you do want that flagship gold colour and that flagship piezo sensor and that flagship green laser technology, then buy a V15 Detect Absolute. So I'm going to go. But if you want a flagship model, buy a V15.